Welcome to my revision of my American history notes, where I go over what I've already studied and posted, and looking for things that I want to dig into deeper and more thoroughly. So we're talking about the struggle for religious freedom in America, the foundations of religious liberty in America that make us so unique in the world. So today we're going to talk about the Great Awakening and the struggle for religious freedom. Now, with the early events recorded by Jonathan Edwards in his narrative of surprising conversions, the Great Awakening began in 1734. Concerned about the lax attitude toward participating in Sunday services as in paying attention, Edwards began preaching on it, and a group of people who were also disgusted with the attitude of people in church came to his home to talk to him about it. It seems that some people, especially young people, had already met to discuss the poor attitude of churchgoers. A small revival began to stir over parts of Massachusetts and New England. It wasn't until 1741 that Edwards preached his epic sermon, Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God, though, in Enfield, Connecticut, and things literally took off. Jonathan Edwards was known for exercising, sleeping very little, and eating very little. He was very thorough in researching his sermons and applying long periods of intense study. He was very self-disciplined and followed strict rules for himself. Knowing that you can't make revival happen but can only pray, work, and apply one's talents toward that end, Edwards could tell it was coming. There was a great Boston fire in 1711. In 1721, a smallpox epidemic hit the city, killing over 1,000 people with the first inoculation introduced at that time. Then, in 1727, an earthquake hit the city, and in 1728, started out no better with a scandal over Mary Dye's drowning, which was believed to be a murder by her husband due to the condition of her body, while Cotton Mather died at the age of 65 that year, and several people were drowned in a sailing accident. 28 baptized believers went to jail in Bristol, Massachusetts for refusing to pay congregational ministers, although Baptists and Quakers were allowed to skip the tax if they lived within 5 miles of their church. Again, in March of 1729, another 30 Baptists and Quakers were locked up for refusing to pay ministerial taxes, and then a measles epidemic struck the same day. There were many unusual and tragic things occurring in the area. Solomon Stoddard died in 1729. Boston and its environs were being prepared for a revival by being made very unhappy with their situation. Like the 400 men who fled to David in 1 Samuel 22:2, many people were discontent and hungering for something from God. New England was slipping. Churches were monuments to dead orthodoxy. There was no spiritual power, people complained. And then we'll talk about the Great Awakening beginning in Northampton, Massachusetts, under Edwards' leadership next. I hope that you would feel free to make comments on what I say. If you have something that you think I should dig deeper into, or something you disagree with, provide your citations for your research so I can learn. And I appreciate you watching this video today.